Hey y'all, what's good, beautiful people? It's your girl Tay, and I'm here yet again with another update video. So definitely make sure you smash that like button, comment down below, subscribe, plus push your post notification bell button so that way anytime I upload a video, you will be notified. So let's just jump right into it. The first thing I want to talk to you guys about, something I actually should have brought up a while ago, but it just kept seeming to slip through the cracks, okay? But anyways, so we've got some new stimulus Obamacare subsidies that were supposed to have started as of April 1st of this year. Okay, now this is in regards to obviously healthcare insurance. Okay, it says that extra premium subsidies approved as a part of the recent stimulus bill will be available on the federal Affordable Care Act exchange starting April 1st. Mandatory credit. Okay, so extra premiums. Oh, I already read that part. Current enrollees and those seeking Obama coverage can access the additional help for 2 years as a part of the $1.9 trillion relief package that President Joe Biden signed in early last March. Okay. However, those who are out of work likely won't be able to sign up for the $0 premium coverage called for in the stimulus plan until July, according to the Department of Health and Human Services. Though they may qualify now for zero or low cost policies based on their income, this provision is taking longer to implement because it is new. Okay, so it's a possibility that some aspects of this particular premium and coverage may not be available to July, just in case you guys missed that. The agency is also still looking into whether it can automatically apply the new subsidies to existing enrollees who don't take action. If not, they will receive the enhancement when they file their taxes next spring, okay? Meanwhile, the 14 states that run their own exchanges have their own timetables for when the larger subsidies will become available. And I don't know which 14 states there are because they're not listed in this particular source, okay? The boost in aid is a part of Biden's effort to get more Americans covered by health insurance. The relief package makes 2 changes to the subsidies to address long-standing complaints that Obamacare plans are not affordable for many people, particularly the middle class. Okay, enrollees will pay no more than 8.5% of their income toward coverage, down from nearly 10%. And lower income policyholders will receive subsidies that estimate their premiums completely. Okay, also, those earning more than 400% of the federal poverty level, about $51,000 for an individual and $104,800 for a family of 4 in 2021, will become eligible for help for the first time. The president launched a special enrollment period which began February 15th so the uninsured can sign up for coverage. He recently extended the deadline to August 15th, so you have up until August 15th. So this gives consumers more time to take advantage of what they consider beefier subsidies, okay? Now, there are some states that are doing some things a little bit different. It states here that in New York, for instance, current enrollees earning below 400% of the poverty can access the largest subsidies now. They will receive a letter with the new amount in coming days and can log into the marketplace to update their information. If they take no action, they will automatically start receiving the increased aid in June, okay? Let's see what else we got here. In California, so Californians, meanwhile, will start seeing the enhanced subsidies on April 12th, and existing enrollees will automatically begin receiving them on May 1st. Current consumers will save an average of $119 a month in premiums, according to Covered California, the state exchange, which has also extended signups through December. Okay, so I definitely think that was some good information worth giving you guys regarding Obamacare. So you guys want to look into that if you're a current enrollees, or if you've been thinking about it and you were previously not qualified, you may want to check into it because you may be qualified for free or a reduced premium cost. Okay, now, moving on, we've got some information from the Treasury officials regarding what we can expect to get from the American Rescue Plan. It says the U.S. Department has announced how much money communities will get in the American Rescue Plan and how they plan to spend it, hopefully. So this Monday, Treasury officials announced the launch of the state and local fiscal recovery funds, which were established by the American Rescue Plan. It will provide $350 billion in emergency funding for state, local, territorial, and tribal governments. Treasury officials say those eligible will be able to access funding directly from the Treasury Department in the coming days. In addition to allowing for flexible spending up to the level of their revenue loss, recipients can use funds to do the following. Support public health expenditures, which basically means medical expenses, behavioral health care, mental health, and substance misuse treatment, and certain public health and safety personnel responding to the crisis. Address negative economic impacts caused by public health emergency, which includes providing aid to households facing food, housing, or other financial insecurity, offering small business assistance, and extending support for industries hardest hit by the crisis. Aid the communities and populations hardest hit by the crisis, provide premium pay for essential workers, and invest in water, sewer, and broadband infrastructure. Okay, so a little bit of information released about that 350 billion. Now, I thought this here, I wanted to give y'all a little bit of tea regarding this infrastructure package that Biden has been working on. We know that it's supposed to be somewhere between $3.4 trillion, okay? But McConnell, still stingy Mitch, says that he and those that back him are only willing to support an acceptable package of $800 billion. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell suggested Sunday that he would support an infrastructure package that costs as much as $800 billion, a price tag that's higher than the existing counteroffer from his fellow GOP lawmakers. Now, sidebar, you guys, I know I've been speaking a lot about what's been going on with unemployment benefits because there's 3 states. I just read today that Arkansas has joined. I think it's South Carolina and Montana are the other 2 states that have currently decided to end the federal supplemented boosted unemployment, the $300 extra. I believe that somebody also dropped in the comment section. I can't remember which was which, but I do know that there was something that's being dropped in Alabama. I'm not sure if it was the SNAP Max benefits or if it was unemployment. That's set to expire in June. And then someone also mentioned that more benefits are being taken away in Oklahoma. Again, I don't remember which one was which. I don't remember. One of them was the unemployment benefits and the other one was the emergency max SNAP allotment. So you guys know that these programs, the emergency SNAP max allotments, it's at the state's choice. It's at their discretion if they decide to continuously participate in these programs all the way up until September. And unfortunately, I feel like a lot of the states that have Republican authority are going to opt out of those options a lot sooner rather than later for whatever reason. You know what I mean? And honestly, I feel like this is an attempt for them to just try to exercise their controls, kind of flex their muscles because they feel like they lost with this last stimulus package. That's the honest to God truth in my opinion. I'm not a politician, but that's just my opinion. It's all about politics. It's all about negotiating. It's all about exercising power with these people. My opinion, I don't really think they care too much about what's going on because they wouldn't be so hasty to remove these programs knowing that there's a lot of people that need them. Now, I get that they're trying to say that there are jobs that are being created and people are not applying for them. But at the same time, like I said yesterday, there are a lot of people that just don't have the means, that are just not available to work. I fall in that category. You guys know I have a lot of kids. I'm not in a position right now where I can accept a job because who's going to watch my children? Do you know how much it would cost me to get childcare for 6 kids? I would pretty much be working just to pay the babysitter. And that's not something that I can afford to do right now. You know what I mean? So it's going to be pretty difficult for me to find a job that requires me to leave my home. I would need to find something that would allow me to work from home. And I feel like a lot of jobs should be working towards making more work from home jobs anyway, especially if it's something where it's just customer service, talking on the phone, helping people with their everyday concerns and issues with products and things of that nature. You don't need me to be in the office. I'm not charging anything. You know what I mean? There should be procedures and protocols that they can put in place for security reasons, but allow people to work from home so that they can still earn a living and take care of their family. But back to what I was saying. It says, during an interview with Kentucky Education Television that aired Sunday, McConnell reiterated his opposition to the $2.3 trillion tax and spending proposal put forward, which, like I said, I think is $3 to $4 trillion now, which President Biden had actually put out earlier this year. It says that measure, known as the American Jobs Plan, includes billions in new funding for traditional infrastructure needs such as roads, bridges, transit systems, and broadband, but also allocates money to issues such as long-term care for the elderly and disabled, which I love. McConnell said any package should focus solely on traditional infrastructure, whatever that means, including roads, ports, bridges, water lines, and broadband. The proper price tag for what most of us think of an infrastructure is about $6 to $8 billion, he said, adding, what we've got here is what can be best described as bait and switch. That's his personal opinion. I think, again, that he's just not for helping out the American people. He wants people to struggle and figure things out themselves. Maybe that's what he feels like he had to do. But again, I don't think that he has the right to make that judgment or even state those claims and put that on other people, because everybody's situation is different. Says a group of moderate Senate Republicans introduced a scaled back plan of $568 billion proposal last month, an opening salvo in the long shot bid to compromise on the infrastructure. The 5-year plan from Senator Shelley Moore, Roger Wicker, Pat Toomey, and John Barrasso focus on roads, bridges, and other traditional forms of infrastructure. Okay, so they put out a proposal, but it was a lot less. I really don't see how far they're planning on getting with these proposals. I mean, I know that our president is gung-ho on trying to get bipartisan support on anything, that any type of legislation that he, has to sign. But he's made it abundantly clear that he's not willing to just do nothing. And he's definitely not willing to go through these negotiations for months and months and months and have it dragged out for even years or just the whole thing that they went through when they were trying to pass the first stimulus package last year in March, when everything first started happening. He's not willing to do any of that. He's willing to participate in conversations, and I believe that there's supposed to be some negotiations held either tomorrow, which is Wednesday, and Thursday of this week, to discuss what both sides want included in this package. But he's not willing to just say, no, we're not going to do anything. And he's definitely not willing to put a small price tag on there just for the sake of whatever it is that they're feeling. We know that. But what's included in this package, the roadmap laid out by the Republicans, this is from the Republicans. This is what they are proposing. $299 billion for roads and bridges, $61 billion for public transit systems, $20 billion for rails, including Amtrak, $35 billion for drinking water and wastewater. I think that should be higher because water in certain places is not great. $13 billion for safety, such as for Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, and the Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration. $17 billion for ports and inland waterways, $44 billion for airports, $65 billion for broadband, $14 billion for water storage. It says Republicans, we know, have constantly criticized the size and the meaning and context in which the Biden spending measure, arguing that it contains too many provisions that are unrelated to traditional forms of infrastructure. They have also pushed back against this proposal to pay the measure by raising the corporate tax to 28% from 21% and imposing a higher global minimum rate on U.S. companies' foreign earnings. So that's pretty much all from Mitch. I mean, you guys know this is how this is going to be. It's going to be back and forth. It's going to be a whole bunch of what blase. It's just a whole bunch of nonsense to me. At the end of the day, like I said, I don't trust anybody. I'm going to keep saying this to you guys. Hell, I feel like I should run for governor. I'm not a politician, and I have no background in politics or lawmaking or anything, but I just feel like at this point, there should be someone who is willing to actually speak for the people, who has been in the same position as people. You know what I'm saying? It's a joke. I'm not really going to run for governor, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. There needs to be facts along with empathy in politics. And I think that there's seriously lacking on a lot of those soft skills that you would use for regular everyday jobs. A lot of those regular people skills politicians just don't have. It's like the empathy and the heart is sucked right out of them the moment they start running for governor or Congress or Senate or whatever position they're trying to seek out. It seems like there really is not a whole lot of conversation. I feel like, I know I'm rambling on, you guys, but I just feel like at a certain point, instead of coming down to the communities for photo ops, you should be coming down to the communities and actually having conversations with the constituents and seeing how they're feeling, what they're going through. You know what I mean? Talk to the people, see what they're saying. You know what I mean? Talk to people who are willing to talk to you. And that's what I feel they're lacking, all of them. But anyways, moving on to some positive news. So in California, you guys know that our governor Newsom is possibly heading for recall. They received as many signatures as they needed to petition the election to get him in recall. Now, it has not started the formal process yet, but he is working hard on trying to get California back together. And I think that's also in an effort to save his seat. Okay, so it says Governor Gavin Newsom proposed a second round of $600 state stimulus on Monday to hasten California's recovery from the pandemic, hoping to expand the payments from low-income residents to also include middle-class families, saying that doing so would benefit 2 out of 3 state residents. Okay, the proposal is to deliver $8 billion in new cash payments to millions of Californians. Is a part of the $100 billion economic stimulus plan, made possible in part by a budget that has swelled with significant windfall of tax revenues, a surplus the governor put at $75.7 billion. Okay. So he says direct stimulus checks going into the people's pockets and direct relief, that's meaningful. Okay. Under the governor's proposal, which still requires approval from the legislator, households earning up to $75,000 in adjusted gross income will be able to receive the second round of stimulus payments. The expanded program will provide financial assistance to 2/3 of California. In addition to the $600 stimulus checks for eligible Californians, the governor proposed that families with children would get an additional $500. Now, this is not $500 per dependent. This is just $500 because you have dependents. So for families that have dependents, they would get $600 plus $500, which would give you $1,100. Okay, now if you don't have any dependents, then you would just get another round of $600 stimulus, right? The payments are a part of what Newsom is calling a California comeback plan, pitched by a governor who is fighting a Republican-led campaign to recall him from office. The state recently announced that components of the recall turned in sufficient signatures to put a vote on a statewide ballot this fall. Newsom's proposal is supported by the chief executive of the Unity Council. We are not going to leave anybody behind during this pandemic, he said at the news conference. We need that recovery. This would be the second round of state stimulus checks proposed by the governor, okay? It says that this was prompted by state officials saying that cash payments were triggered in a part by a 1979 voter-approved state constitution amendment that requires tax rebates when revenues exceed a cap on government spending, okay? That budget surplus is going back to the most vulnerable Californians, the ones who need it most, said Assemblyman chairman of the Assembly Budget Committee, who joined the governor at the news conference in Oakland. Okay, so I think that that is some good news. I don't necessarily feel that our governor should be recalled. Again, I think that this is an attempt from the Republicans to try to win back some of their power. California right now, we know that Gavin, I don't necessarily agree with all of the things that Gavin has did. He has made some mistakes, but you wouldn't be a politician if you didn't make any mistakes. There's not a whole lot of politicians out there that can't say that they didn't make the wrong decisions when the time came for them to act and inspire change. Okay, so I don't necessarily think that the choices that he has made should have him recalled and taken out of office. I do think that he should remain in office, and I do appreciate the efforts that he is making in trying to help California fully recover. California is a very, very expensive place to live, and I feel like California, among other states like New York, who have a really high cost of living, is going to be among the slowest to bounce back from everything that has happened, because everything is extremely high. The cost of everything is extremely high. But on that note, you guys, I am going to say, as always, remember to live, love, and elevate. I hope this information was in some way helpful and useful to you guys. Happy belated Mother's Day. I got all of you guys happy Mother's Day wishes. Mother's Day didn't exactly go the way that I planned for it to go. It was kind of a bittersweet day for me. However, I hope that you guys got to spend some time with your families and have them show you how much you are appreciated, because I still feel that us as women and mothers are truly undervalued and unappreciated in this country just as a whole. But again, on that note, I'm going to say remember to live, love, and elevate, and I will definitely see you guys in the next video. Peace, beautiful people.